Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Kalimera, as we would say in downtown Cyprus. We're driving early in the morning. It is 7:20. We had a bit of a storm through the night. Not as bad as the last storm, just torrential rain on and off. And we're going to take an adventure through the centre of Paphos and head down to Kato Paphos to see what's going on. And I don't think we're going to see any carnage or any damage because the rain was on and off through the night, quite torrential, but I don't think it's caused any problems. Well, fingers crossed, it's not caused any problems for anybody. So sit back and relax because as we can see, the sun is starting to peek its little head up because it's time for the sun to come back and turn everything into blue and bliss on the island of love, which of course is Cyprus. Now, I'd like to do a big shout out to one or two of the guys that like to come and watch the show now and again. If your name's Dayman, thank you very much. Of course, Lord Andy, Lady Ness, thank you very much. But I'm thinking of a chappie in downtown Portsmouth and wondering if he's keeping busy, if that ambulance service is frantically running around as the winter season approaches, and we must raise a glass to these people who keep the world afloat, isn't it? On that note, a big shout out to Sir of the Daniel, and of course to his girl, Lady Sherry, who is always right. We wish you a fantastic day. Now, it's looking a bit bleak, isn't it? You know, for the island of love. Now, I understand if you're watching perhaps from somewhere in Yorkshire, perhaps if your name's Lady Alison, Lady Enid, perhaps it's getting a bit chilly, perhaps in downtown Norfolk, if your name's Lady Andrea, perhaps you're warming your feet on the electric feet warmer. Well, it's not electric, is it? Well, it's like a peacock, isn't it? He likes peacocks, and of course that is Sir of the Mart. And talking about peacocks, we've got a man somewhere in and around London. He's got a girl in his life called Lady Cheryl. Yeah, big shout out to Lord Mark of the Peacocks, and hopefully he'll be purchasing a brick or two in the Marika and Me lounge bar very soon indeed. It does look as though the roads have taken a bit of a battering anyway, because the rain is so torrential. I don't know if you've been in Cyprus when the rain does hit at this time of year, but it comes down as, I mean, they say hail, and sometimes it is hail. Big golf balls can come down, but it comes down with such ferocity is the word, isn't it, that it starts to crack up the bits of tarmac. And I know this road was always absolutely Sherlock Holmes, but I think today it's had a little bit of a battering. Well, through the night, shall we say, through the early hours of the day, it's had a bit of a battering, because I noticed there was a bit of a pothole forming up there. So slowly but surely, the road is getting worse, and that's one of the complaints when often people come to Cyprus. But of course, it's the same all over the world, isn't it? The governments are spending their money on more important things like private jets for themselves, and new electric vehicles and all these kind of things, and security details, and going for dinner, and very important things, isn't it? Like these G7 meetings and all those kind of things. Anyway, rant over there, Lord Anty. I don't take politics very seriously. If you are curious to know, I always see it as a joke, and the ironies of the world, how they say to us that, we've got to cut back on our carbon footprint, and we should cut back on our holidays, and we should use public transport, and we should walk more. But yet these guys get on private jets and fly around the world for meetings just for the fun of it, and have entourages, well, long ones, shall we say, and then go and have big lunches and big breakfasts, and then come back and say they agreed nothing. But there we go, that's politicians. Perhaps if we come back in life, there's two things to come back at, either a politician or a cat, because if you're a cat, you always get looked after very well indeed. On that note, a big shout out to Sir David, and of course his girl, his very own blonde beauty, Lady Angie. And yes, TC, our little pussycat, who was your little pussycat, is now doing very well indeed. A bit shocked by the rain, but don't worry, she's indoors, and she keeps checking her biscuits and her water and that other little contraption that she needs to use now and again, and as long as they're indoors, she's more than happy. Anyway, there we are, a bit of rain, as we can see, which is masking one or two of the potholes, so you've got to be careful as you drive along this particular part of the road, because it really is very bad indeed. International School of Paphos is on the left-hand side, so if you have got some not so littlies, medium-sized ones up to the age of 18, that could be the perfect school for you that follows the British curriculum. So hopefully they'll come out semi-educated, shall we say, and go on in life and, well, who knows, perhaps start a YouTube channel, who knows. That's the thing to do these days, isn't it? Become a social media influencer, so they say. Home Market, that's like a DIY furniture shop on the right-hand side. And there's the One Blue Monkey pet shop over there. And apparently you can get a lion or whatever you want from there, operated by some Chinese people, so I'm told. So perhaps they could smuggle one in next time they're coming from Hong Wong Wang Wang Wai, or whatever that might be. Anyway, big shout out on that note to a couple in downtown south of France, flipping and flopping up and down towards Italy. So if your name's Lord and Aldo, Lady Sylvie, we're wishing you a fantastic day, and hopefully you're getting ready to plan your return to downtown Paphos for the rest of your life. And on that note, a big shout out to your princess and our princess, Princess Valentina. Hopefully you're having a fabulous, fabulous day in downtown France. And hopefully the weather's not too bad, because yeah, France can suffer from some heavy rain as well, can't it? And I would have thought for the guys in Spain as well, because there's one or two of them that have suffered quite a lot, isn't it? Which it's never nice to see people suffer, is it? Well, I don't like to see people suffer anyway. I know some people do, but I don't. Not nice. And I think flooding and this kind of stuff is one of the worst things that you could suffer as a human being, isn't it? Heat we can put up with. We don't mind getting cooked to death in the Sahara Desert, or perhaps on a beach in Paphos, but we don't want to get flooded, do we? No. There we are, talking about water. There's a fountain roundabout, shooting its stuff, yeah. Looks quite spectacular. On an eve, it lights up and changes colour. It even goes blue now and again, by the way. Not a lot going on, is there? As we can see, not a lot of traffic around, which is good, because the, well, what should we say, the driving standard? Is there a driving standard in Cyprus? I'm not sure, but it's not very good. And to be honest, it gets worse when it's been damp and been raining. And the reason for that is because everybody driving around a car in Cyprus is doing something. I mean, like me at the moment, I'm actually looking for a lighter in the car. So this is what you've got to remember. When you're driving around in Cyprus, people are always doing something else other than concentrating on their driving. And if anyone's in front of them, they get very, very frustrated. Even if you're doing 80 kilometers an hour in a 50, the one behind you still gets very, very frustrated, because he or she believes that you are holding them up. So they tend to stick themselves up your bottom and try and push you along that little bit faster. So if you are driving a car in and around Cyprus, Paphos in particular, just drive a little bit slower and frustrate them that little bit more, and keep checking your rear view mirror to see if there's steam coming out of their ears, because they do get very, very frustrated indeed. So that's something that you should always carry around with you when you're driving around in Cyprus. Annoy the person that little bit more. And there's someone stuck right at my bottom now, so we'll go that a little bit slower, just to annoy them that little bit more, because you're not going to get there any quicker in the world today, because, well, there's cats, there's dogs, there's people, there's traffic lights, there's zebra crossing, there's boys and girls in blue. They're all waiting for you, obviously. So drive carefully and drive sensibly, and don't be worried by the person behind you, even though they are very, very worried by the person in front of them. And now he's just turned off. There we go. Obviously going for a frappe or something. So this is central Paphos. And coming up on the left-hand side, it's the Skevenides supermarket. And here's a little bit of information for you. It used to be Carrefour, which was that French group. Now, I think they're still involved, but that's not what I'm on about. Skevenides have taken over Papa Antonio's supermarket. I told you this a couple of weeks ago now. And slowly but surely they're rebranding the Papa Antonio supermarkets. So you won't be seeing the word Papa Antonio for much longer. It'll be coming Skevenides. Same items for sale, same buildings in the same locations. So it doesn't really matter to you or to me. But perhaps someone's made a couple of bob, and perhaps someone is planning on making a couple of bob. That's business at the end of the day. On that note, if you do like what you see, why not hit the like, smash that subscribe, and please keep coming back for that little bit more of my complete and utter madness as I take you on my travels in and around Paphos. And of course, if there is somewhere that you'd like me to go, why not drop it in the comments, and you never know, that little video may be coming very, very soon, especially for you. And if you'd like to keep the channel afloat, why not go and hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform? Why not just Google these magic words, Buy Me a Coffee, Marika and Me, or Marika and Me, Buy Me a Coffee. Up will come our landing page. You'll have a choice to read a little bit more about us and perhaps read a comment or two. And then, fingers crossed, gift us that virtual coffee, or two, or three. We better stop. There you go. Thanks very much, Lady Andrea. I know it's a Sunday morning in Cyprus, and I know you're watching this on a Monday, so I'll forgive you for not being awake and switching those lights. But see how fast the lights go from amber to red. Not a problem at these lights, because these haven't got cameras, but some of the lights lower down in Paphos have got cameras. So if you are driving around, please be careful, because if you cross that line when they go to that amber on their way to red, you will get a €300 infringement on your credit card. It's as simple as that. Anyway, back to talking about that little bit of spondoolies, that little bit of flus, that little bit of money. And fingers crossed you will gift us that virtual coffee or two. Like those snowmen on the roundabout. Christmas must be coming, that's for sure. And of course, for those of you who follow the channel, you are aware that we are about to, well, we are in the process of refitting out the Marika and Me lounge bar in downtown Kato Paphos on Bar Street. And of course, if you would like to buy a brick and get your name on the Wall of Fame on the Hollywood staircase, all you have to do is hunt us down on PayPal. Look for these magic words, Paul G Cyprus, that's P-A-U-L, that's Paul. G is G-E-E, that's G. So Paul G Cyprus on PayPal. Up will come a little picture of myself and Marika smiling and thanking you as you gift us £50 per brick, and your name will feature on the Wall of Fame on the Hollywood staircase. And we do thank each and every one of you very, very much indeed. If your name is Sir Steve, thank you very, very much. If your name is Sir Adrian, thank you very, very much. If your name is Sir Chris, thank you very, very much indeed. So where are we? Just above the old town. And on the left-hand side, they are building some officing complexes and a park area, and it's to the rear of the old Paphos Central Police Station, and that's going to become a museum. Over on the right-hand side is the Bank of Cyprus. That's the main branch of the Bank of Cyprus, and that's having a complete refurb. So, you never know. It might be a nice bank in the end. I mean, it was a nice bank before, and that's where I bank. That's my main branch. And there was nothing wrong with it, by the way. It just shows you how much money these banks have got. There was absolutely nothing wrong. It's like state of the art when you walked inside it. All air conditioned, lots of staff walking around, not doing a lot, and lots of customers standing around looking very frustrated. Well, that's however I felt when I went in there anyway. Anyway, that's banks, isn't it? So coming up, Kennedy Square on the right-hand side. So that must mean we're in the old town. Are these lights going to change? Are they going to stay on green? My goodness, they've stayed on green. Nope, see that? We just got through in time, but if that had a camera on it, we'd have been in big trouble. This is the governments of the world making money out of us again. And I was reading in the British press yesterday about councils and how they intend to fleece the British population out of a further 500 million in parking fines over the next 4 to 5 years. Yes, 500 million. They're coming up with clever little scams on how to reduce the amount of parking time that you can have for your £1 or your £2 in the hope that they're going to catch you and then they can fine you. I tell you, you got all these people in the world who say the governments are looking out for us. They're not looking out for us. Well, they are looking out for us, obviously, but they're not looking out for us in the right way, are they? They're looking out for us in the wrong way because they want to take our money. It's as simple as that. Anyway, rant's over. There we are. Perhaps we should call this a politics channel and we can have a good laugh as we talk about all the inequalities and all of the ironies in the world. Drop in the comments what you think, because I could talk about it all day, that's for sure. Slowly but surely, we are dropping down towards the main events, which of course is downtown Kato Paphos. And of course, more people go to Kato Paphos than anywhere else when they come to the island of love. It's got the promenade, it's got the harbour, it's got Bar Street, it's got hotels galore, and of course, it's got the blue Mediterranean Sea. All that's missing is you. So why don't get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy, because Paphos Cyprus, Marika and me, oh yeah, we're waiting, and we really are waiting, especially for you. Coming up on the left hand side is the Begonia Garden Centre, which must mean on the right hand side is the Kings Avenue Mall, the biggest shopping mall in Paphos. So if you're looking for something, it's probably in there. We're going to go straight over the roundabout under the Paphos Skywalk, which is a walking platform up in the heavens above downtown Kato Paphos. Worth a little wander around, by the way, and it is free of charge at the moment, although there are rumours that the man in charge of the show will be putting turnstiles on it one of these days and charging us a couple of bob. So if you're in Paphos, why not go and have a walk on the Paphos Skywalk and have a little sneaky look at the catacombs which are there on the left hand side as well. Let's keep going. We're on our way to downtown Kato Paphos, and we're going to finish with a view straight out into the blue Mediterranean Sea. And I'm going to say thanks for your company, and hopefully you've enjoyed mine, and hopefully you'll join me again very soon indeed. And hopefully you guys like the updates on what's going on in the Marika and Me Lounge Bar. Electricity is slowly being restored, shall we say, as they rewire and relight and replug it for us. After that, the plumber's coming in and he's going to do his bits and bobs. And then after that, myself and Marika are going to be rolling up our sleeves and starting to clean the place and strip the place out, because we haven't got any money. So we're going to do it ourselves. And if anyone wants to pop in and say a big hello, please do. But don't forget to bring your marigolds and perhaps a paintbrush or two. Downtown Kato Paphos, promenade and harbour area. Early morning after the storm has gone and everything is returning back to normality, and everything's going to be looking blue very soon indeed. And I'm going to light up a little boy's cigar. Yep, life is good on the island of love. All that's missing is you. Look at that.